This eye is not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
Hello everyone, my name is Zeotrex, and today we're doing a review of Call of Duty Black Ops 7, this year's installment for the Call of Duty franchise. Black Ops 7 is, well, I can assume you can tell by the title, but the 7th Black Ops game, and is a follow-up to last year's Black Ops 6. Black Ops 7, however, is actually a direct sequel to Black Ops 2, with David Mason of that game returning to be the main character. Now, Call of Duty is a series that I've been really negative about over the years, and I've grown extremely critical of the series and have disliked most of their recent entries. Modern Warfare 2 was super frustrating and unfun, with it essentially just being a camping simulator all the time, with maps that didn't really, well, work. But Modern Warfare 3, other than its campaign, was pretty decent after a while. However, Black Ops 6, while I did think it had a pretty good launch, was pretty fucking terrible after a while. Mind-numbing slop and became super frustrating. I was really hesitant to look forward to Black Ops 7 this year, and I still have a lot that I want to say. Now, first off, let's get one thing clear. I'm speaking multiplayer. I'm strictly multiplayer. I really don't have time to sit through a campaign, and I haven't actually played the original BO2 campaign either, although I have played that game's multiplayer, but I've heard some pretty bad things about this campaign here, so yeah, this is just multiplayer because that's what I usually play. Well, how is it? How is Black Ops 7? Well, it's been a few weeks, nearly a month since the game launched, and I can say this. We aren't fully back. Call of Duty is not fully back yet. This game is riddled with issues that I'm now a lot more passionate about that I will point out. It does honestly drag the experience down and makes me not really the biggest fan of this game. But the multiplayer does a lot right, and I do think if they expand upon it more and say next year's Modern Warfare 4, which is unlikely since Infinity Ward is developing that game, I think that if they expand upon this series, expand upon these elements more, or in the future for Black Ops 7, we could be on the right track. So let's get into the biggest change that Black Ops 7 has made, and that is the removal of skill-based matchmaking. I'll actually dive into this a bit later because a lot of things have come out and kind of, I do have thoughts on it and whatnot. So yeah, I get into games a lot quicker now, and I'm noticing a much bigger variety of players from prestigious 1 to 10. Now, the thing with last year's Black Ops 6 was 9 times out of 10, a lot of people would be Prestige Master level 1000 or whatever, you know? And I would barely get into any matches where I could put up a fair fight. It was constant losing streaks. It was constant, you know, I was going up against the Call of Duty League of the World. And I was very frustrated by that. So, the open matchmaking here is an improvement, but I still think there's some flaws in it and some confliction, and I'll talk about that when we get there. However, I think open matchmaking is one of the better changes that the game has made, again, with the flaw that I mentioned before. Now, let's move on to the maps. Honestly, the maps for the most part are pretty fine. I'm actually just going to give a kind of off-the-head review of the maps. So, yeah. So the first map here I want to talk about is Blackheart. Now, Blackheart is honestly a map that I think is fine. It's a small, medium-sized map that has a classic 3-lane structure, which is a massive change from last year's Black Ops 6, since that had the vague idea of what 3-lane was. Now, do I think this map is perfect? No, but it's definitely one of the better maps. Up next, we have Cortex, a map that I'm also not too sure about. There's this section here with the little tanks that I don't really like, and yeah, again, I'm kind of just mixed on it. Not really my favorite, but whatever. I do not like Exposure, however. I think Exposure just simply is too open, in all honesty. There's this section in the middle that really makes it kind of hard. Like, you can get attacked from everywhere here, and it makes it really hard to find cover and find, like, an actual position to be well in. So, yeah. Up next is Imprint. Now, Imprint is a map that I actually do really like a lot. It's probably one of the larger scale maps, and I tend to do the best on Imprint. It's much larger, meaning you get more chances to kind of attack enemies. So, yeah, I like Imprint. Forge is another map that I sadly just do not like. I think it's a bit unfocused. I think the classic 3-lane structure, I don't even think is there. It honestly, yeah. Toshin is, again, kind of a mixed one. I like the aesthetic of this map. That's another thing. It kind of goes for this neo-Japanese cyberpunk vibe, which, you know, I do like, although here it's a bit too nullified for me to like. Yeah, I think Toshin is fine. Colossus is a map that I don't really get that much on, in all honesty. I don't really play this one, although I think in the footage that you're watching, I did great on this map, but this is a map that I don't really get into often. Den, same thing. I don't get into this map often, but I also don't like Den that much. In all honesty, I think the biggest issue with Den is just sort of that little area where, you know, people could just come in from all sides and whatnot. Flagship, I just do not like. It's one of those it's one of those mosh pit maps, you know, the what is it, meat grinder, as someone puts it. Maps where you kind of just run around and you get shot. It's too small for my liking, too chaotic. Boom, 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 all over the fucking place. I don't like Flagship. And Homestead is a map that I think is visually beautiful, but a majority of the game sort of takes place in that house, since a lot of people think it's a power position and often camp there and hold it, which, kind of ruins the flow. The fuck is Paranoia? I have not come across Paranoia. Now, Retrieval is a map that I also do like. It actually, if you get into the right rhythm with the right guns and kind of know what you're doing, it's great. I think it's a bad, I don't think it's the best map for, like, objectives. For example, Domination is a map. Domination is a mode that I don't think does the best on it, but maybe that's just my experience of people not knowing how to capture a fucking point, so, yeah. Then Scar is a map that, again, kind of doesn't do the 3-lane structure. I think it's a bit too chaotic. It's a bit, actually, no, a bit too crowded. It kind of reminds me of, what was it called? One of the maps from Black Ops 2 a little, which is coming back. And then, speaking of Black Ops 2, Express. I think Express, it's Express. I'm not the biggest fan of Express, in all honesty. Just because I just sort of think it is, just not my favorite. But then we get to Hijacked here, and I love Hijacked. I think it is one of the greatest, I think it's the best, Black Ops 2 map. It's my favorite Black Ops 2 map. It's gorgeous to be remade, and yeah, it's probably where I do the best of my games. You know, if you get into the right rhythm, go into that little hole, kind of sneak into the enemy line with a shotgun and just blast everyone away. And then, of course, Raid is a classic experience. A lot of people, I like the remake that they did to Raid here, by the way, leaning more into, again, a Japanese aesthetic. But something that I like about Raid, Raid is kind of a long sniper map. That's usually what happens. So yeah, and I think these the rest of these maps are simply just for yeah. So now let's get back into the scripts. A handful of movement is another positive change. I think Omni movement was just way too much in Black Ops 6, and I seriously did not like it. Whereas here we have we still have those butt sliders, which I honestly think we need to dial back still. Omni movement is dialed back. The wall jumping gimmick, though, is super finicky. There's a lot of times where I've tried jumping off an area only to just fall right into a pit. And that might just be a me issue, but I don't know. I still very much do dislike the whole movement demon thing, you know, sliding around and then jumping. It just feels very sweaty. And that's another thing. The game is also super sweaty. I don't know. Okay. I don't know if this is a result of the open matchmaking or the possibility that skill-based matchmaking still might be in the game somehow. First of all, there's a standard playlist, which I'm just not going to touch. That is full skill-based matchmaking. That is 100% confirmed. So yeah. NerosCinemas posted a video on this topic, and so did ExclusiveAce. Now, Nero is someone that I'm extremely mixed on. I think he does bring up great points, but he often gets off track or starts ranting about things like fries or something. And he often repeats the the same thing over and over. For example, Black Ops 6, he would always mention unicorns and whatnot. But ExclusiveAce is someone who I do like. Now, I'll link their videos down below so you can sort of see where this is coming from. But this is where I feel conflicted about the skill-based matchmaking in this game. Or, well, if there is. Because I've been in some pretty damn sweaty lobbies recently. There's people who slide around. There's people who jump. Now, again, the footage that you are watching is actually one of my better games. But I feel as if I just keep getting decimated and I'm going up against the COD League a lot of times. But maybe that's just how it is with open matchmaking. I notice I'm playing near 10 p.m. That when I'm playing near 10 p.m. is where I do the best. I get into those sessions where I even get my kill streaks in, which is another thing real quick I want to mention. Kill streaks are not necessarily the best in this game. The dog is probably the best one so far, but a majority of the maps are sort of closed in, and so something like a Watchdog Hilo just doesn't really do the best. The turrets also, something that I did like a lot in, say, like COD Mobile. Turrets don't really do the most, but yeah. I'm honestly just having a hard time trying to improve, and this is what also makes me conflicted about the open matchmaking. This game, in its performance, fucking sucks. Like, this is where I truly talk about what genuinely brings this game down as an experience. The damn packet burst that plays the side of my screen nearly every game. It jitters around, I get thrown. No, I would try doing a wall jump, and then it packet bursts me, and then I get thrown down. I have a decent PC too. It's not like my computer is like super low end. It can run games well, and I lowered my settings in COD because I don't care too much about the graphics in this game. But this game runs like ass every single game. Another big issue with this game is the desync. I think this is what is really ruining the game. I look around a corner and it feels like someone is using a fucking sniper against me. But when you look at their kill cam, it is the exact same gun in the exact same build that I am using. How are you going to tell me that me headshotting this guy and shooting him in the fucking neck like Charlie Kirk isn't enough to kill him, but him flinging the fucking sweat droplets off his magazine when he's reloading will go blow my goddamn brains out? Then, on the kill cam, it looks like I'm just a stupid bot aiming into the sky. It is so frustrating, and it's what makes this skill-based matchmaking thing hard to judge, because I'm getting blitzed instantly by guns that do the exact same damage as me. No matter how many attachments or modifications, they still should do the same damage. I use the same guns as them. I use the same SMGs, like the, the Dravic 45 or the M15. I doubt it will be fixed, but I do think Treyarch is trying to get their heads out of their asses this year. And finally, I doubt it, but it looks like they're going to get their shit together due to Battlefield 6, which is a game that I actually have. I mean, I played the beta, I liked it, so yeah. Honestly, my multiplayer experience has been super mixed a month in, and I just wanted to get a review out before Season 1. I'm currently Prestige 1, almost Prestige 2, which isn't that impressive. We all have a bunch of tokens from last year, and maybe I'm just used to the skill-based matchmaking of the previous game, so this is probably just Riplash for me. My honest thoughts are about the whole skill-based matchmaking thing is that I don't think they straight up lied about it. It's most likely that the game is just super sweaty right now. By opening up matchmaking, I feel as if you're re-inviting the players who quit to the fact they had skill-based matchmaking in for so long, and now for those players who, let's say, have been playing since the original COD 4, are now dominating the lobbies. You know, they've been playing for a long time, and since there is now open matchmaking, you are going to be encountering those players a lot more. Maybe I was protected by the skill-based matchmaking, and so, yeah. Or maybe I just fucking suck, who knows. I'm curious to see where things go in Season 1. Some of the maps there do look beautiful. Overall, Black Ops 7 is a step in the right direction, but not by much. It is still heavily flawed. From what I feel like I should mention, it is very it's very hated and despised campaign. To something I forgot to mention, the fucking AI-generated calling cards, and I'm pretty sure the Prestige icons are also AI-generated. Yuck. That's been an issue with Call of Duty this past year, and actually a few years, is that they're starting to use AI to code their shit, and using AI generation. That was something that you noticed on Nuketown last year, and that was... They had, like, AI-generated art for that stupid fucking Seth Rogen event. Honestly, yeah, Activision, fuck you for that. Black Ops, again, the horrible performance is honestly what ruins it. It is the worst part of the entire fucking experience. Black Ops 7 still needs a lot of work, and I'm hoping that Season 1 fixes a lot of these issues. Now, it still needs a lot of work done before we can say that Call of Duty is truly back. I'm gonna give Black Ops 7 a C. So, another gaming review, huh? Sorry I don't do these as often, but I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 7 since it came out, so yeah. I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about it, and real quick, I do want to just discuss why I don't do gaming reviews as much. Like, this is my second one. Last time was Mortal Kombat. I just don't have time, and like, I play games at my own pace. Games are much longer of a medium than, say, a movie or a TV show, and you know, I feel like by the time I get the review out, it's just not relevant anymore, so I'm curious to see where this goes. I don't know. This review was a bit unfocused. I am reading from a script here, but I'm just kind of, again, saying what I'm saying. This is also a voiceover because I want to separate the game reviews a bit different. But yeah, my next review should be Five Nights at Freddy's 2 if that's not out yet, and as of recording, it's not. But until then, you want to get paid? Move it!